You are listening to this because you may have thoughts that are interfering with performing or competing to the best of your ability. The way that we change thoughts is through repetition of the challenging thoughts. Actually, we are not changing thoughts, but through repetition, we are creating a new pattern of thinking. Just as you practice a physical skill until it becomes automatic, repetition of the challenging thoughts helps this new pattern of thinking become stronger than the old pattern, until it can become your automatic way of thinking. That's why in this audio, I repeat what I am saying, and why the more you listen to it, the more it will benefit you. The biggest difficulty with thinking that athletes have is the fear of failure. Competitive athletes are motivated and dedicated people. The desire to win and not to lose is an important part of the self-concept. However, it is important to keep perspective on the desire to win so that it motivates you but does not interfere with your performance. This thinking interferes with performance when it creates tension or anxiety, when it affects your focus or concentration, or when it makes you give up or not try hard enough. So it is important to reframe the way you think about failure and success. Winning does not make you a better person. What you are doing right now makes you a better person because it shows you are willing to do what it takes to be the best that you can be. You are a person who is willing to use whatever tools that are at your disposal to improve. You are willing to look at yourself. You are willing to try. That's what makes you a better person, both in life and in competitive sports. Winning is often a benefit of that type of attitude. The more that you focus on being the best that you can be and make winning a desire rather than a demand, the better you will be. What does that mean, to make winning a desire rather than a demand? A demand means that you have to win at all costs in order to feel good about yourself or to be happy. A desire means that you will do what is necessary to strive for your goal, but that your happiness or your feelings about yourself are not based on achieving your goal. Why is this important? Because people who are able to focus on winning as a desire tend to be more persistent in trying to achieve their goal. They don't criticize themselves unnecessarily, but focus on the specific improvements they need to make to attain their goal. Think of yourself as a competitor rather than as a winner. A competitor is someone who strives to win, but doesn't focus on the winning. A competitor uses failures as lessons. Failures are valuable because they give you the opportunity to learn how to be better. Competitors find the opportunity in setbacks. The opportunity is, what can I do to improve? What can I learn from this experience? Competitors know that success does not guarantee happiness and that failure does not need to cause misery. Success is something to enjoy, but failure is also an important part of living. Remind yourself that adversity can build your inner strength, which will make you a better athlete. If you accept failure as a positive force in your life, it can help you develop patience and persistence. Successful people are persistent people. When you have an expectation to win, you set yourself up for failure. Because when you don't meet the expectation, you are less likely to be persistent or to focus on learning. Instead, you are more likely to put yourself down and feel bad about yourself. Tell yourself that you prefer to win, and you are going to do whatever you can to win, but you don't have to win. Your goal is to be the best you can be at what you do. And the more you focus on that goal, the more likely you will be successful in the long term, because you will feel better about yourself and be more persistent. The old adage, "the only failure is the failure to try," is absolutely true. As I already said, successful people are persistent people. In fact, successful people have usually made more mistakes and failed more than people who are not successful. Successful people are not people who have never failed. They have failed more than most. So what makes them successful is they keep trying. They learn from their failures, and they keep going. They are persistent. However, if you ask successful people about their failures, they may have difficulty thinking of examples. The reason is because they don't even think of these experiences as failure. They are more likely to think of them as learning experiences on their path to success. A competitor not only can handle criticism, but they welcome criticism. They want to hear how they can improve. Constructive criticism from a coach or teacher is welcome because they see that person as a partner on their path to success. In fact, a competitor doesn't want to just hear how good they are. They want to hear how they can be better. Some of the things that you want to be able to tell yourself: I prefer to win, but I don't have to win. The joy of winning is momentary, but the happiness from appreciating myself and my efforts is long-term. I welcome the opportunity to learn from my mistakes. I will become a stronger person by learning to deal with setbacks. Winning is not who I am, but who I am as a competitor, willing to be patient and persistent in my pursuit of success. I don't need to control the outcome. I just need to focus on my performance. The only failure is when I'm not willing to try. No one can be successful all the time, but successful people are those who are persistent. Now, think of an expectation that you have for an upcoming event. Reword your expectation to tell yourself, I prefer for this or something better to occur. An expectation tends to be limiting, but a preference is not. For example, if you say, I have to win, then you are limited to only one outcome to feel successful. But if you say, I would like to improve my free throw percentage, you now are open to more opportunity to be successful. Then tell yourself, I may or may not get what I prefer, but I know I will learn from every experience, which will help me become a better athlete. In this way, you can begin to change the demands to desires. Another related issue that many athletes have is the concern about what others will think if they make a mistake or if they fail. Sometimes this occurs because of previous experience where a parent or coach has expressed disappointment or disapproval about performance. If this is the case, it is important to tell yourself that you are the only person who has the right to judge you. Anyone else is only seeing the outcome, and it is not fair to judge you just based on the outcome. Others don't know the effort that you have made are what obstacles you may have had to overcome to be able to achieve what you did. Therefore, you are the only one in a position to make an accurate assessment about yourself. However, recognize that you do appreciate valid feedback about your performance because you want to learn how to improve. Be willing to learn from others, but you don't need to accept unreasonable criticism. Also, if someone is judging you harshly, remind yourself that they don't understand these principles that you are learning. They don't understand that mistakes and failure can be valuable learning experiences. They don't understand the difference between effort and outcome. They are putting too much emphasis on outcome rather than appreciating the effort. They focus too much on winning and don't understand that success is based on patience and persistence. They don't understand the true nature of a competitor, and they are just defining you based on winning. Remind yourself that they are wrong in their thinking, and you don't need to worry about someone who thinks that way, because no matter what, you can't please that kind of person anyway. So you need to focus on listening to people who can give you constructive criticism and ignoring those who provide harsh judgment. You need to focus on evaluating yourself fairly, and only you can do that. No one else has all the information. Also, people who are unnecessarily critical usually have their own issues or agendas. It really isn't about you. It is about them. That's why you don't want to worry about or accept these types of judgments. They provide nothing useful to you. They only distract you from what is important to you. Then judge yourself based on these principles I have described. You are a competitor. You show that by your willingness to learn these ideas and to improve yourself. As a competitor, you define yourself by your effort and eagerness to learn from mistakes, rather than by winning or losing. The qualities of patience and persistence, the willingness to keep trying and to keep learning, will help you not only as an athlete, but in all areas of your life. You are striving for excellence, not perfection. You want to be the best you can be, and you recognize that by understanding the value of mistakes and failure, you can only become better. You define who you are and what you believe. No one else does. You determine your future, and you determine it through preferences and desires rather than demands or expectations. This is what successful people do, and you can do it too.